You have disrespected me. You have insulted me. You have critiqued me. And for what it is worth, you have single-handedly shattered my self-confidence.
Hey guys, welcome to the Get Up. I'm Josh.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Ashley.
And today we are talking the series finale and the reunion show of Love is Blind.
And woo!
Season 3.
Man, we had some balls dropping in this.
This one might be spicy. I don't know.
But I tell you whose balls didn't drop ever. Brennon's.
Brennon.
As the shirt says. Like, where the hell's this dude's balls at, man? 'Cause he ain't got it.
I know where they are. They're in Alexa's purse. That's where
exactly.
Oh,
Damn right,
boy.
that's exactly where they're at.
Oh boy, some strong opinions over here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, today is also Veterans Day, so big shout out to all the veterans.
Right.
Yesterday was the Marine Corps birthday, and you know
Rah.
what? Giving a shout out to all the people who just do the daily grind as well. You guys get no love, but
Did you get it
I
from us?
appreciate you.
That's right.
Well, thank you both for your service.
There you go.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
thank you.
All right. So, Love is Blind, also known as the Hunger Games of dating, apparently.
That's right.
Which
That's
I
right.
found
If
funny.
you don't open your mouth, you don't get fed.
Yeah. That's what my shirt says.
That's right.
So this one continues where the last one went off, and now we're with Bartise and Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and is Bartise going to say yes? Is he going to say no?
Yeah, of course, we all called this one. I mean, it was, anybody with a freaking brain in their head would have been able to call that one, right?
Yeah.
But the way he
Except
was,
for Nancy.
well, the way he was acting
Right,
with like,
right.
you know, hey, you're gonna give a speech at the reception, all this,
Yeah.
that, and the other, you know, and he's smiling,
And
and
he's like, well, yeah.
I don't like, that's one thing that could be for the show, like for footage to put up there to make kind of tease us, to make us think he's going to say yes. But he sends a shot up to Nancy and says, let's do the damn thing. Like that's given the...
you think
Yeah,
the show did
that's-
that, and they're
that's-
like, hey, we're gonna say this is from you. Is that cool? Whatever.
Whatever, dude, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's leading her on, but
No, that's totally leading around. No doubt about it. But what? It's a show, you know. You gotta,
some people say that maybe he just thought she's going to need the shot after this, or to deal with what's happening
Yeah,
here.
could be.
Yeah.
I do not.
So Nancy says yes. Bartise says I do not. That's
right.
And then drama ensues.
Well,
And
first he
then-
asked if she would like to talk about it. She said no.
Yeah, he's like, they're on the altar. You want to talk about it? She's like,
Nah.
But I gotta say, before we get into the drama,
Well, they-
she maintained her composure. She sat up there with a smile. She never gets mad.
Yeah.
She really, even when everyone else in her family was going crazy, she's just like, Mom,
she handled it really well.
yeah, I need my
Oh,
time.
yeah, she did. No, big time, man.
And I don't think Bartise handled it that well because, you know, she's being like escorted off by her people and her friends and stuff like that. And then Bartise goes chasing after her and he's like, watch out. Not like, hey, pardon me and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, he's pretty rude about the whole thing, I thought.
It's his wedding day.
But then he did. But
It's his day too, you know.
but then he was cool about it when he was trying to explain it to her, you know, until they got interrupted and he didn't get his chance. But then it then became like a scene out of freaking Boys in the Hood or something, man, where this dude's getting ready to get jumped by her whole freaking family. You
I
know?
mean, yeah, her family did not take it that well at all, especially the brother and the mother. And the mother just
yeah,
kind of
man.
like wanted to intervene. And she was like, Mom, I got this. I'm good. Just go away. Give me a second. But she couldn't. She gave him like a second, but that's about it.
Yeah, and then Bartise, he's like, I guess the brother was like, why'd you ruin this or whatever, and Bartise is like, you guys are ruining this
No,
right
he's
now.
like, no, man, you came here and you wasted all our freaking time. He's like, what the
Yeah.
hell was this all about?
I mean, until the reunion and you hear about other things later, you almost think that he wanted to have a conversation with her, like, yeah, we're not there at a marriage thing yet, but like maybe we could try to
dating.
get that or whatever.
Yeah.
But with he's like, when he's seeing the family go
Oh,
like
yeah.
this, he's like, I just dodged a bullet.
Maybe that was his
he's like, I'm getting
idea.
the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his idea because, I mean, he seemed like he may have wanted to continue it. And then and Nancy's like, nope.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, then her family, I think, like she said, sealed the deal too. After that,
Yeah.
man, who the hell is gonna want to stick around for that afterwards, man? I'm like, hell no. I'm
He
outta here.
said, the brother said, that ain't no man, that's a punk. So, yeah, he wanted answers himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And
he
Bartise
demanded-
was like, you're ruining my moment here, like, of turning her down.
Yeah. He's like, we're trying to have a moment here, and you're ruining it.
trying to do this so I can come across very romantic and sweet and kind, and now like we're gonna have to throw hands here. Like,
yeah, I don't like the way how he kind of dismissed the mom. I mean, I get what he was trying to do, but he could have done it a little bit more elegantly.
Yeah.
So, but
he could have said, "Hey, let me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you have some time with your family or whatever, but I would like to talk to you."
Yeah.
Something, I don't know. That was a tough situation.
But the thing is, they
point.
didn't want the time with her. They wanted it for him. They wanted they didn't want to talk to him.
Yeah, he's
They
like,
wanted-
look,
they're like,
I'm going to
"You got
have
some
to
answers for
go
us."
in an armored vehicle. We can talk later.
it was funny because they're like to the brother, like, you called. He's like, I don't want to be right.
No, and he
I
was
didn't
so
want to be right.
upset. It was like Nancy wasn't that upset. He was so upset, like he was about to cry. I didn't want to
His
be
mom's
right.
like, fine, son, you're right, but I didn't want to be right.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, even Bartise's family didn't even know what to do. They were like, we're just gonna like take him and get out of here. I think that's for the best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of sucks. I mean, Nancy, I thought she was pretty cool throughout this and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
And
thought so.
she was done
For
a
the
little
most part.
dirty.
She
No,
was.
She was definitely done dirty, no doubt about it.
I don't know what he was doing because, I mean, we could all see it, in the edits and cuts that we got to see. But he had her fooled because she really thought he was going to say yes, and we all knew he was going to say no.
Oh, yeah.
So I really feel bad.
Well, like I
for
said,
her on
I
that.
think that shot sealed the deal for her. Okay, he's in. He's going to do it, and then not so much.
I don't think she even doubted, ever doubted.
No, she flat out said she didn't. She's like, I totally thought he was going to say yes. Like, I didn't doubt it at all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there might be a slight chance.
Oh, wait,
but
it's not crazy.
Can't say that.
I
Can't
thought
say
there
that.
was a slight chance, but to me, it was a very small one.
Yeah.
So they just had some key differences they couldn't get past. And I don't know if Bartise was even ready to be married.
No,
I
I
don't
do
think-
wouldn't.
Yeah,
I do wouldn't.
obviously.
So
Obviously he wasn't, but
Right.
as you
know.
find out some stuff, I guess, in the reunion.
Yeah, exactly.
was brought up.
which we'll get to.
But Alexa and Brennon. And now what irritates me about this one is the teaser shows like where he's like, I'm not feeling right today. And they never showed any
showed
of that. So are
Nope.
they just filming stuff for the purpose of fooling us or what? I don't know.
Yeah, when they went right into it, like one of the first clips of Brennan was like, I'm ready, there's no doubt, blah, blah,
Yep,
blah.
I'm
Like,
getting married today. Boom.
and I'm like, wait a second. Like the last seconds of the last episode, he's like, today's not the day, I'm not feeling it.
Oh, yeah, that teaser.
Where's that,
teaser was-
Brennan?
yeah.
Like, you don't see any of that.
Yeah, because, I mean, this was... When they showed parts of the wedding, there was almost like no doubt they weren't going to get
Yeah.
married.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could just
Yeah.
tell by their attitude and everything that's going on with Alexa and her dad,
Oh, yeah.
what she's going to say and everything
Yeah,
like
Brennan
that.
with his
so.
mom, it was just like there was no doubt in either one of their minds they were getting married. There was no like, oh, I'm not sure if this is the right decision. Neither one of them said that at all. They're both like, hell yeah, we're they're getting married. And
It's a very
this is it.
stark difference between this wedding and some of the others
Oh,
too,
yeah.
because like the family's heavily involved and they're there and
Yeah.
the whole way and everyone's crying and doing that, even though other people cry apparently for whatever reason. But
Right.
I mean, this one just seemed authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And let's
It was a
talk
good wedding, I
about.
thought.
Let's talk about. I know we later learned to not like Brennan quite so much.
That's right. Where are they at, Brennan?
But
Where are they at?
let's talk about his vows. I really liked his vows.
That was cool.
Yeah.
to this
But he
point,
didn't
Brennan-
mention the part about his ball staying in her purse the whole time, though. You know,
he's like, I give
Going
you
hard on
that.
this one.
But up until this point, like Brennan has been awesome all throughout. You know what I mean? I mean, he's been
Yeah.
a gentleman and
but
he
he's been a
said all
total
the right things.
He's been a total yes man the whole time too.
Apparently that hasn't changed.
Yeah, he doesn't voice his opinion that often, or if he even has one, I don't know. But
Yeah.
he just kind of goes with the flow and
He just goes with her opinion.
yeah, and tries to make her happy. And I respect that to a certain
Some
extent.
people are people pleasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that makes him happy is just making her happy.
He's all in on her. So
Yeah. Well, she's the breadwinner, with her, owning her own insurance company where he's a custodial engineer, whatever he
sales
does.
manager,
So-
who knows? But,
Whatever that dude does. So, hey, I guess.
He takes care of Alexis.
Yeah, that's right.
but he's just cool as ice throughout this whole process too. He's just like so mellow. He sees his mom, hey mom, and everything's cool. And like he doesn't seem like he's stressing at this moment at all.
Not at all, man. No. Yeah, that teaser was completely BS, man. They completely freaking threw you off on that one.
Yeah.
They
Whatever.
tried. And as soon as she promised him the jingle jangle, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when she said that, it's like, all right, they're getting married.
Jingle, jingle.
Any other thoughts about this wedding and how it went down?
Nah, it's predictable. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Brennan's vows, but it's like, okay, fast forward. I know they're going to say, let's go to the next one.
But this is the first marriage of this season, so it was nice to see someone tie the knot. And I think of all the couples, this is the one you kind of expect because they haven't really had any issues throughout, really.
Right.
Exactly.
So, yeah. All right, now this one, Cole and Zanab.
Woo!
Poor Cole. That poor guy,
Cole.
man.
What team are you on? What team are you on?
Well, right now, I'm still like, Zanab is saying a lot of the right things to a certain point. And then, then the wheels start
and then it just goes
off.
to crap, yeah. Oh, man.
I called it on episode 1 that I did not like Zanab.
Yeah.
There was something about her. She seemed cold. She seemed distant, just not this loving person. And everybody, I was called a woman hater. Like,
yeah, how was you guys?
Okay.
He still doesn't have any family at this thing, but he's got some friends, and I just think that's a shame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because he was going to say yes. He loves Zanab. He was going to say yes, and she just shit all over him.
What I really don't like, she starts, why go through the motions? I mean, I get that you have to go through the motions for the show, but she had the seats reserved for her deceased parents, and like they did a little.
She reflects on her
that.
parents a lot during this.
And then she has, I'd like to start with a prayer, because that's what Cole and I, kind of connected over. And like she's going this route of like playing it through, like, and when they're mentioning her parents, she starts tearing up, like she wishes they were here for her special day. This ain't your special day unless you think standing on your soapbox is your special day. Like,
and the stuff she said, the way she tore him down, it's funny. She's such a hypocrite right there because she always talks about how childish she is, and then that was the most childish damn thing you could have ever done.
Unclassy,
very unclassy, childish as hell.
She starts with, "I love you. You're a great man."
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that after what you're about to say.
5 seconds later, it's, "You single-handedly destroyed my self-confidence." No, ma'am. That was gone well before you walked in.
Exactly.
Yeah, he just kind of...
He just unfortunately hit buttons he didn't realize he was hitting on your already destroyed self-confidence.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
And all you did was pick at him for it. You never really explained it to him. Until today. In front of everybody.
Right.
In the most harshest way possible, which you didn't know what you were going to say yes or no until you walked up there, right? But this speech was definitely rehearsed.
You don't just come up with this off the top of your head.
Yeah, that speech is totally rehearsed.
Thinking long about
this. She knew exactly what she was going to do. And then she walks away and she's telling, is it her stepdad or her stepmom's husband? I don't know, whoever walked her down the aisle. She's telling him, I didn't want to do that, but he needed to be told. Yeah. You wanted to do that.
And then her people start clapping.
And obviously it was pre-planned because people were clapping. That means they knew all the junk you told them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That wasn't a surprise to them. Because who claps at a moment like that if that's just a surprise? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think you hit the key word, the junk she told them. Yeah.
And the only reason to do that is to hurt him and humiliate him.
Exactly.
Anything he did that incidentally did or did not hurt you or made you feel a certain way, that's your own insecurities. And maybe, he said stupid stuff. We all know that Cole didn't know how to talk to women,
Said stupid stuff, did stupid stuff.
Exactly. But anything he did, he never did maliciously. He never did to intentionally hurt her.
Right.
I
mean, he said
this was to hurt him.
He sat there and cried to her family and told her mom that I wasn't trying, I never meant to hurt her. She's like, I know, honey, I know.
I think her mom felt
bad for him.
For
Absolutely, she did.
Yeah.
And whenever her mom went into the room with her, I thought her mom was gonna flat out tell her, look, that was fucked up. Like that was,
Here's the deal: like people don't. They just hear what she tells them, so they don't know what's going on.
Exactly, man.
So I don't blame the people for supporting her because they take her at her word. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that was. I mean, what she did, man, that was ridiculous.
Well, there's 3 sides to every story, right?
She was my favorite coming out of the pods, but man, you went from
you and me both.
a 9 to a 0 to me.
Well, see, and that's the thing too. We talked
a 9.
about.
She wasn't a 10.
No, I'm saying like she started off 9 because that's what Cole gave her.
Well, when we talked about that before, right? Like you asked the question. He's just giving you an honest answer.
When he rated
what he
her,
thinks. You asked him to rate you, and he did. And it's not like he told you were a freaking 6.
He shouldn't have, even though she asked.
Right, exactly. But he's a freaking 25-year-old kid or 26, however old Cole is, and he's very honest. just blunt person, and she already knew that about him. And he's
And if
saying,
you
fine,
can't
yeah.
handle the answer,
Don't
don't
ask
ask
it.
the question. I
Exactly.
never asked my husband, do I look fat?
I knew something was up because flies find a way of landing on shit, and there was a fly that landed on her arm, and that's when I knew it was going to go south.
You're right, that fly was in there.
Oh
And
my
Cole like
God.
shoot it off, but
yeah,
like
yeah, you're right.
what do you?
Such a
that's
joke.
hilarious, yeah.
That was pretty bad. I felt bad for Cole having to do that because she could have valid reasons for not marrying him, and that's fine. But to
Yeah.
get up there and say all that and belittle him at that moment was just wrong.
She could have said that exactly to him privately.
Yeah.
But she didn't,
No.
because you've seen it in seasons past that she could have said all the things like, you're a great man, I do love you, I'm just not the right woman for you, I know what kind of woman you need to love you, like, and she could have even reciprocated that, like, I know what kind of man I need to love me, and you and I are just not that for each other. If I'd like to talk to you more in private.
Exactly.
She could have had that conversation privately, but she didn't, because the purpose of that speech was to humiliate
and it gets
him.
compared to Deepty and Shake, but the difference is Shake was a freaking douchebag. Cole is not. Cole's not a douchebag. He didn't deserve that at all. Shake freaking deserved it. Bottom line, but Cole didn't deserve that at all.
Yeah, Cole meant well. It just I don't know.
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
two, they weren't a good fit.
They never were.
No.
But I mean,
And I
she didn't
called
have
it.
to do that. So, all right, Matt and Colleen. This one is very interesting because
Yeah,
most
no doubt,
people prior to this would have said no chance in hell that these two have a possibility of getting married.
Yeah, exactly.
And then even when they're talking to him, they're like, "We'll see." As I'm up there, and I'm like,
Like both of them were like,
I got advice for you. If you don't know on your wedding day if that's the person you want to marry, then it should be a no.
Should be a no.
If you're gonna wait till you're on the altar till I look at her and see her,
see.
oh, okay, yeah. It's
I
like,
mean,
what?
Colleen, they even ask her when she's getting ready, and she's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I
I
don't
felt
know.
like she was like, I got an NDA, I can't tell you. That's what I felt like was going on, but apparently there was more to it than that.
And then, I mean, she says 1,000% yes. I'm like, like an hour ago, you did not know, but now you see him at the altar, it's 1,000% yes. And I like that her sister kind of said, you answer for you.
Yeah, that was good.
That
was good
she's
advice.
like, not about that we've brought all the family here and all this hoopla and for the TV and what you think they might want to see. This is
Your life.
your
Yeah.
life, your decision. And then she's like, won't mom be mad? No.
She's like, that's what I'm trying to tell you to avoid.
It's
Stop
almost
thinking
like
that.
both these two are at a no and are looking to be convinced to get married is
Yeah.
what I felt like was happening.
Yeah.
I think Colleen got married not to upset her mom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
was very
she's the
sure-
first to
well,
say yes, so and then
1,000%.
like
And
yeah,
Matt's
Matt's like,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
There was no I do that came out of his mouth.
I felt like
just
he
said
was
that's-
going to say no, but he's like, oh man, I don't want to be the bad
Well, he
guy.
says
here.
no. He goes, no. So, like, and then he starts a sentence, and I was
Right.
like, no. Did you say no? Like, I need
Exactly.
like,
Yeah, that's what it sounded like too. Because I heard
Yeah.
that too, and he's like, no, but he said no, and then he started going off in his little spiel, and I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell, is this guy?
Till death do you part. If so, say I do.
Here.
And they don't seem like they've solved a lot of their issues yet.
Yeah,
at this
which we'll
point,
talk
so-
about, right?
Well, I'm just saying to this point,
Not
like
even at the
that's-
wedding,
I mean,
yeah.
like
Oh, no.
the anger issues and all that kind of stuff. And Colleen, like obviously he's very set in his ways and his expectation of a fiance, a wife, and I don't know if she's gonna, be that girl for
that,
him.
yeah.
Right, exactly. Well, it's funny too whenever his mom was up there with him, and when they're waiting on her to walk up, and his mom's trying to talk to him, he's like, "I love you, mom. I love you. I love you." He kept saying, "I love you" to her as she's trying to talk to him. It's like, is he even listening to what the hell his mom's saying?
I love you. I love you.
Follow your heart.
I love you.
Follow your heart, Pat.
I love you. I love you.
Yeah, I don't know. This was an awkward one.
Oh yeah, it was.
But
crazy.
Matt has been kind of like pimping this out on social media, so I guess it makes sense because he got married.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Any final thoughts for these two before?
Nah, it was surprised, man. It was a huge surprise. Like
Yeah.
out of all of them, man, it was surprised the hell out of me.
This might be like one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe they just work. I don't know. maybe there's more to it than we saw. Maybe, I mean, it's easy to capture the moments where he explodes, right? Because you're like, you got to put this on.
Because that's
film.
the drama,
Yeah.
right? Yes, that's the stuff they're going to put on camera. Which later we're going to find out stuff that wasn't on camera because it wasn't drama, like it said, like people said it was.
But like,
right?
I mean, I guess you know, there's been a lot of talk about like domestic violence and all that stuff because he seems so angry all the time and he goes from 0 to 60. And does he hold back on stuff because he's on camera? I don't know. I mean, he could just be a loud yeller and like he does storm out, so he doesn't like confront and stay and attack the situation.
I'm not big about jumping to conclusions on violence
Yeah.
without seeing it.
He yells and then he's gone. So maybe he does that to prevent it or to make sure. I don't know.
Like I said, there's so much we don't see behind the scenes that's going on. You really can't jump. Like Josh said, you can't jump to conclusions on that.
All right, well, that's the last wedding. So this one is unique. They show the reunion right after the weddings.
Yeah, that was weird.
How did you feel about that format?
I didn't like it, man. I like when they do reunion after, and like make it its own separate episode.
No, I needed to see it.
Nah.
It is its own episode.
Yeah, but I mean, give it to us.
No,
last,
I needed to know.
Well,
And it
it
did
does
not
sound
disappoint.
like they're doing a year follow-up,
definitely
so I guess you'll get a second reunion
Yeah, probably
eventually.
Yeah,
So.
like a year later with the marriages when you say that,
Yeah, but
Matt and Colleen have.
the
broken
reunion
up, but-
definitely did not disappoint. The reunion was a hell of a lot better than the freaking
It was interesting.
marriage episode was, man.
And
Holy
the two
cow.
couples that got married are still married.
Yeah, still married.
You guys don't see it, but Colleen.
Colleen, blink twice or yawn if you need help.
Do the little hand
She's
sign.
definitely at the minimum very uncomfortable.
Well, see, but I'm curious. I mean, yeah, she looked uncomfortable, but I'm curious if the reason she was uncomfortable because one of the first things they opened with was the pool scene, right?
She was
So I
uncomfortable
think that
before
may
it
have made
even
her
came
uncomfortable
up,
off the
but
bat.
she obviously knew that was going to come up.
And maybe she was
but-
uncomfortable because she knew that was going to come up,
She
and
was
she just didn't.
also uncomfortable when she was sitting down with the two guys and Matt, though. So maybe this is just her demeanor when she's at things like this.
Yeah, I think people jump to big time conclusions and all this stuff I'm seeing online about it. I don't think he's beating her or anything like that.
I don't know.
But who knows?
But I don't think she's as happy as she's saying she is.
Well, maybe she's not as happy as she's saying she is, but I mean, taking that and saying, "Hey, there's domestic violence. She's a battered woman," is, I mean,
that's a leap too far for me.
Right, big time, exactly.
Because, I mean, that's a pretty strong, bad accusation. I mean,
It
that's
is.
pretty messed up if the guy
But
ain't doing
someone
that.
has to also point out the fact that why did no one bring up how he rages? Like,
Well, they kinda
bring
did
it- No,
briefly.
they didn't.
Briefly, kinda.
He said he tried to squash it and like come over it, and they let him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we had some differences. I kind of got upset a little
Nick
bit.
Lachey, you going to be next to me. Keep talking about that.
Yeah, like he's like, I kind of got upset a little bit,
That's 'cause-
blah,
that's
blah,
'cause-
blah.
that's 'cause
and then
everybody-
it's just like that's it. No one like questions this.
No, that's because everybody was too focused on coal bashing session.
It was.
You know?
It was.
This
holy
was
cow,
a
man.
coal
Holy
bashing
cow, dude, that
session.
poor
The
bastard.
things Zay said about her being beat down, it would happen to Cole on this episode.
Exactly. I mean, they
Yeah.
beat the crap out of Cole. And again, all of it was based off what Zay told them, right? All the girls got Zay's back, because Zay told us about this, Zay told us about the cuties, and she told us all this crap. And then the funny thing is, Zay's like, oh, well, there was way more than just the cutie stuff, too. Really? Then why was none of it on the show? Because you know what? Anything that causes drama, they're going to put on the freaking show.
Yeah.
And the cutie thing, when we finally see it at the end, there was nothing dramatic about it, which is why it wasn't on the show to begin with.
The only thing that they showed on the show about him commenting on her like eating habits or food was like they were at the beach eating something, and she's like, "What do you think? I should be eating a salad or something like that?" She's like, "Are you trying to fatten me up?" And then he's like, "Well, you seem to be doing that yourself." But like, I think he was kidding.
Yeah, he was just kidding. Yeah, exactly.
Because he just does not. He's just too naive to understand that she is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, she has
with,
poor self-esteem.
Yeah. And that's the only scene they ever showed. And then they showed, the scene she brings up at the end of this. But
And when Cole was like, please show that scene. And as soon as he said that, even before that, I mean, I was like, he's I believe him. But as soon as he said show the scene, I was like, okay, I completely believe this guy now.
he did say, I mean, we're obviously jumping now to Cole and Zanab, but he did say, like, she said, are you going to eat that or whatever, or like save your appetite or something like that. And then he said he didn't say that, which he did actually say that.
But not in
the
your
content.
appetite for the meal
Right.
that they're getting ready to have, a big meal.
She made it sound like he told her,
Exactly.
hey, you shouldn't eat that. You should watch your weight, which is not how he said it
And the
at all.
reason why he said he didn't say it is because it was so... He couldn't even remember the moment because it was such a non-moment for him.
And how about during that moment, the whole moment was him talking about her family and, hey, we need to do this for your family. You know, we need to do something big for your family. Like, all about her and her family. And then she's like, oh, what was that? I didn't hear you because you're just talking Cole.
Right.
Like, completely brushing the poor bastard out, blowing him off. As the whole time they're both stuffing their faces with freaking fruit out of this bowl, right? She's sitting there eating the fruit out of the bowl. And then he asks her, you know, she's like, oh, well, this will be the first thing I've eaten all day. And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I just had a banana this morning. He's like, well, dude, why did you only have a banana? I offered you breakfast. Yeah, but I didn't want it. So it's like, there was...
He even offered her food
offered her
that
freaking
day.
breakfast. Right, exactly. It's just like, dude, it was, man.
And I was a big fan of Brennon until this reunion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, he's like, you can't say
Say that.
that word, Cole. And I'm like, I'll say whatever word I want. You
Exactly.
sit there and shut your mouth and open it when Alexa allows you to.
That's exactly what I'd have said too if I was Cole. Yep.
I mean...
Where's Will Smith when you need him?
He
You know what I mean?
Right.
He said this because I think it was about the
He
key
said,
scene
"This
at that
is
point.
insane."
He's like, no, he goes, this is insane, and they're like, you can't say that word. Let's
And then
try
he
to
said
find
crazy.
another word.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, crazy. That's just a synonym. You can't say that word either.
And it's like it's like he's not calling her insane. He's saying the
Right.
situation's insane. It's just like, shut your freaking mouth,
And
Brennan. Quit being a little punk.
later, when they're talking with Bartise and Nancy, Bartise says it's crazy. He says something's crazy. Nobody says
corrected
anything.
him. Yeah.
That's because Cole has lost his mental health card. He's not allowed to refer to
Well, I
any
also
kind of
like
mental health
when they
word.
show Zanab being picky, everyone's laughing and having a
yeah.
jovial
So
time.
funny.
Like,
then-
but when Cole's doing it, it's like, look at this
She
guy.
did own up. She did. She's like, yeah.
Yeah,
That
but
kind
they-
of made me look like a bitch.
And
I
then
was
guess
kind
who?
of being
And
a
then
bitch.
guess who stuck up for her? Cole. Cole even stuck up for her, and he said, "Look, it wasn't as dramatic as they're making it show here on the TV and all that stuff. You know, it wasn't. You know, it was more playful than that. So he was even sticking up for her, during that scene. Whereas the whole time she just beating the crap out of him.
I can't believe like all the girls like teaming up on him.
Oh, that
It's
was
like
ridiculous, man.
And
you
Brennon.
only heard what
And
Zanab
SK
has
a little
told
bit.
you.
Exactly. And then let's get to the part about the freaking chick who supposedly he gave a phone number to and kissed, right? When they were asking all the guys, did any of you guys see any women around y'all? They were all like, nah, I don't remember any women
Like,
being around.
there were no women.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones with the
Dicks in your face.
strippers and
Yeah,
all the other
exactly.
kind of crap.
We
Yes, you
didn't even
did.
see girls. We were at a rodeo. We chased cows while y'all were getting dick slung in your face, and then we literally went and drank.
She made it up. Bottom line, dude. I'm 100% with Cole on that. I guarantee you she just made that crap up, man.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of surprised the other girls piling on without even knowing the facts.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
Yeah, well, then let's fast forward. So I read an article. So when Zanab just went and freaking tried saying that, oh, you know what, all you people that are hating on me, good for you, you keyboard warriors. I feel sorry for you, and I firmly stand by what I said, and this and that, and then of course Nancy and freaking Raven and Alexa are all like, oh, we still got your back, girl, and then Alexa's like, well, the cutie thing's irrelevant anyway, and it's like.
Irrelevant. That was like one of the main things.
Right. Hey, Alexa, how is it irrelevant? Because that's the big thing that she was crapping on, right? And then she was like, of course, during the freaking thing, she's like, well, there was a lot of other stuff too. If the cutie thing was the biggest thing amongst all the other stuff, and then it really didn't
Or
go
not
down
the
the way you
biggest
said
thing,
it did, right? Then
Then why are you talking about it?
Right,
if it's not
Now,
that big of a deal?
here's the
Exactly.
thing. Now, I'm not defending Zanab, okay? Zanab has self-esteem issues. That's very clear. Everything that she thought Cole said to her or meant to her, she thought about herself. Cole didn't think she was fat. Cole didn't think she was ugly. She thinks she's fat. She thinks she's ugly. And as much as we saw that in the cutie scene, that it wasn't malicious, it wasn't anything the way it was real to her.
And you know why it was real? Because she wasn't fucking listening to Cole. Oh, I just hear Cole talk, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't listen to him.
You already know I don't listen half the time.
Facts.
Just there are some people who can handle someone who has low self-esteem and be the person to uplift them and everything. And when he kind of realized the whole rating thing went south, you can see nothing but clips throughout the entire series where he's doing nothing but like lift her up and say how beautiful she is and how amazing she is.
Yeah, like on the boat and everything else, And then,
Just a shame on Zanab for like
dude.
beating this guy down on national television, having him cry, and then he's apologizing
To
when
her.
she needs to be the one apologizing.
Exactly.
All right, well, there is one couple that's still together, even though they said no.
Yeah.
SK and Raven seem to
Yeah,
be
I knew
going
that.
pretty strong.
yeah,
And I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I think they're a good couple. And, you know, and the thing is, when freaking, what's her name? The hostess. What can't I think of her name right now?
Vanessa?
Yeah, Vanessa. When
That's her
she
name.
was like, "Oh, we got a secret for you guys." It's like, yeah, okay, we
It's
already
not a secret.
Everybody knows. Right.
We know.
Yeah, so
That
was
is
not
kind of
hard.
cool, and Raven definitely changed. My opinion about her changed.
Absolutely.
As the
Yeah,
season
dude.
went on,
Raven
so.
is an awesome person, dude. Good human being, man. I like her a lot. In my opinion, totally changed throughout
She
the
needs to
season.
get out the coal bashing a little bit, but
Right, exactly. Yeah. Aside, well, again, but she.
Or are we just gonna hate all the women
she's-
until they start defending
Right,
Cole? Like,
right.
I don't know.
But but again, in her defense, she's only hearing one side of the story. She's not giving Cole the chance to hear his side, right? Which is still, I
And
guess.
at this reunion, they didn't see this cutie episode.
Right, exactly. They didn't
They
see
showed it to us after, and now they've seen it and everything. So,
yeah, and I mean that was like
They
5
gotta-
minutes of nothing. So,
but they still got to stand by their girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Shame on Zanab.
Yeah,
man.
And then Nancy brings up Bartise is hanging out with a blonde soon after
And 3 days
the
after.
wedding.
Well, the next day,
Oh, that's right. Oh, they had sex 3 days after. That's right.
but he doesn't want to talk about his sex life.
well, rightfully so. He shouldn't have to, right? He shouldn't have to explain himself. I mean,
Yeah, the relationship's over, so
Right.
he's free to do whatever he
Exactly.
wants. Now I get like people
looks
can judge
bad.
him for that. Yeah, it doesn't look
Yeah.
good, but like maybe he wasn't in it for a while.
Maybe he wasn't in it for a while. Maybe you made it quite clear
That you didn't want to see him
that
anymore.
you didn't want to see
That's
him
a
again.
quick rebound, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, it
that
is
is
a
a
quick
quick
rebound.
rebound from that.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
he met her. That's incidental, and then he tried to put it off as long as he could, and 3 days later, it was like,
There's
yeah,
only so much a guy can take before he just has to give in.
I actually thought Bartise handled himself pretty well for all the arrows he was taking during this.
he didn't get that many arrows.
No,
He got some arrows.
Cole
He
was
got
getting most
some.
of them, though. Yeah.
Yeah, Cole took
They
a lot
showed
of
all the
heat.
awkward scenes with him and everything. So
Yeah.
And he was like, look, yeah, it was stupid. I shouldn't have said that, But Cole was saying the same stuff, and they were still, the few stupid things Cole did, he was like, yeah, that was screwed up. I should have done it. And they're still beating the hell out of him anyway.
I did like how
Yeah,
he
Bart-
said,
Bartise
like,
let
I
him off
don't
the hook.
regret my emotions for that time. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have used better words, but I'm not going to apologize for my emotions. Which
Yeah.
And
I thought that makes sense. They barely know each other,
Right.
so
Yeah, and I do like that he kind of pointed out, because we all seem to, we know it, but we don't really consider it and think about it, that the pressure cooker of a situation it is. You're speed dating, you're meeting, you're honeymooning, you're living together, you're getting married. Like, that's intense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
100%.
100%, absolutely. But Nancy, and I really like Nancy, and I like how Nancy has handled everything Bartise has done to her. However, I didn't like how, obviously she jumped on the Cole bashing thing. The difference between the reason why, like, Cole, okay, I'm losing my train of thought here.
what are you trying
Yeah,
to say?
right, exactly. Just spit it out, woman.
I can't get it out. What Bartise did to Nancy, or saying that Raven was a smoke show. I know, I'll get it out. Raven's a smoke show. What Bartise did to Nancy was way worse than what Cole did.
Oh, saying you're a 9
I
out of
thought
10. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes, there was the whole pool scene and everything, but there was even moments in their conversations, and he's like, yeah, I can't help that you're not physically
Right.
what I like. I'm trying to get past it. That's hurtful. Can you imagine if he had said that to Zanab? But it's not an issue at this reunion. They kind of just gloss over it. They harp on Cole, and the reason being is because Nancy never let it
Get to
to
yeah.
her.
Or if she did a damn good job of hiding it.
Yeah.
For the most part. So.
She's very composed, and
She never wavered on how she felt about him, or even how he was gonna say yes to her. You know, she never let that become an issue in their relationship, whereas Zanab did. It was always there in every conversation and everything.
Well, she was, and then of course she was mad dogging Cole the whole time. Cole's finally like, Nancy, why do you hate me? Shit. He's like, what did I do to make you hate me here?
Yeah.
the other main thing with going back to Cole is they said that girl, and then freaking Brennon can't even recall what happened that night. This clown.
Yeah.
So
And
and the
Matt
girls
plays
kept
the
going,
best.
you guys did something else, and they're like.
And they were like, and then they were like, SK, what'd you guys do? He was like, we had some drinks and we got Ubers home. Like all the guys are like, dude, we had drinks together and then we got Ubers home.
Do you really not remember this, or is she making this up?
I really don't.
Well, please be
It's not
honest,
even that I
because
don't
you
remember it,
literally-
Vanessa. This is literally impossible. I don't know what to say, Zay.
Yeah, Matt was like, I got an Uber. I
So
don't know
everything challenge that she said has so far like been unfounded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
And I don't think Cole's the kind of person that wouldn't fess up to it if he did do it.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, watching that freaking reunion, Cole still loves Zanab. Like, he still loves her. You know, I mean, I could tell by the way he was talking to her and kind of the way everything was going down. And, you know, and he was like, you know, I was really hoping she would reach back out to me because I did love her. You know, I do love her. And I was, you know, and
I do
it sucked,
wonder why he didn't try to reach out to her.
Why would
after what she did to him? You know, it's
fair.
like,
You know what? You're right.
I don't think he loves
digress.
her. I just think they went through a journey together, and that meant something to him.
Yeah, it would definitely meant something to him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it was, oh, man, poor guy, dude. Damn. Holy cow.
Yeah, it turned into a Cole bashing fest. I don't know. I'm glad that the show at least showed the little cutie thing because it seemed like the show was kind of out to get him a little bit too, but like, you know.
Exactly.
I would love the cameramen to like break some kind of silence. I'm sure there's
let's interview them. Like, that girl was crazy.
We checked on him quite often. Cole, you all right?
Yeah, but we put the knives away, Cole. Don't worry, brother. You're gonna be safe.
Yeah, I would like their take on it. It'd be interesting.
But,
well, they invited Andrew, and he didn't.
Yeah, he turned it right.
Why would they invite him? Like,
for drama. For drama.
Yeah, exactly.
For drama.
I mean, just so he can explain the eye drops, I guess.
Dude, that was hilarious when Nicholas Shea was like, "Oh, hold on, give me a minute." He was doing that. I was like, "Oh man." And they're like, "Yeah, we invited him, but he turned us down." Like,
I wonder why.
Right, exactly.
I mean, they even tried to bring the old boy back to stir up some drama. Like, he was the only one that wasn't hooked up that they brought back. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
The show kind of knows what they're doing. And I do like how, like, during the reunion, they show the awkward scenes. Like, let's watch this. And what's up with that?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, oh.
It's about to get uncomfortable in this room right now.
Oh, yeah.
They don't shy away from it, which I like.
Yep. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Hey, another season down.
Cheers.
Congratulations, Brennon, Alexa, and Matt and Colleen.
Now, Brennan, take your freaking balls out of your wife's purse. Put them back where they go. All right? That's all I ask, brother. That's all I ask. And, hey, guys, hey, we appreciate you watching. We're glad you took this journey with us. You know, as always, hit like and subscribe, and please, you know, let us know what you think. We've had a lot of chatter on these last couple episodes.
Yeah.
Looking forward to some more. So just hit us up, and we will chat with you guys, and we'll see you at our next review.